What's up, guys, and welcome back to this week's episode. I'm going to come at you live with just a few minutes of advice over how to stay on your diet while you travel. Now, earlier, back in the summertime, I believe it was in June or July, I did a episode over vacation and how to maintain or continue to make progress without making, with going on vacation, not making it or not having any setbacks. And lately, as we get into the fall, as we get into the winter time and the holiday months, people are going to be traveling a lot once again. And I just was speaking with a client last week. She travels all over the country on a weekly basis. And she was asking me, Blake, how can I possibly stay on my program? How can I be consistent with the diet? How can I take clients out to dinner in different cities, all the every night of the week, and still see progress, still see results, being in and out of hotel rooms, maybe being on the road for 5 nights and then home for two. People that have schedules like that, and it's becoming more and more popular these days. It can be a challenge to see results. So the answer is actually a lot more simple than you would think. And so I have two basic tips that you can follow on a weekly basis, on a daily basis while you travel to ensure that you see results consistently. Um, as I'm not a big fan of the term if it fits your macros, I used to be over the last few years being around very highly successful people in the fitness industry. I realized that if it fits your macros is more or less just a term to attract clients. If you want to see really top of the line results, you really need to stick to a very clean eating diet 24/7. But there are exceptions to every rule, and somebody who travels a lot, I believe that the method of if it fits your macros, it works best for them. And like I've always said, that the best diet is the diet that you can stick to. So, as if it fits your macros may not be the same exact food every day. We can all think of like a bodybuilder style diet where it's chicken, rice, and vegetable, 6 times a day, or a carb, protein, and a fat 6 times a day. Um, if it fits your macros is very, very flexible. Another word for it is flexible dieting. And basically, you're just trying to hit a macronutrient goal at the end of the day. You want to hit your protein goal, your fat goal, and your carb goal. Now, obviously, one could take that and take it to the extreme, and they may not eat all day long, and then at nighttime they may go out and have one massive 2,500 calorie meal with all of their macros in one meal. And to get that many calories in one meal, one might eat some bad food like pizza or ice cream or something like that. um, where flexible dieting technically allows that, it's not the best choice, especially if you're saving your calories for one time of the day. Which, if you're my client, you're doing that, you know that I'll get on you for it. But you shouldn't do that anyways. It's just bad for your metabolism. It's bad for muscle recovery. It's bad for muscle growth. It's bad for fat loss. So for someone who's traveling, I suggest using if it fits your macros. The best app out there is MyFitnessPal. There's other apps like My Macros Plus and stuff like that. Those, they're just still not up to par that MyFitnessPal is. It's owned by Under Armour, and they're always the leading edge when it comes to updating their database, adding new restaurants, adding new foods. As a matter of fact, I can even make an entry into the database if I want now. So if I even make a dish at my house, I can add the macros in and put it on MyFitnessPal. So you can really use their database to find about anything. So I have all my clients use MyFitnessPal, especially the ones that travel, because if they take a client out to dinner and they treat them out, whatever their schedule is, they go to lunch, go to dinner, and they go eat out. Obviously, they don't want to make the customer feel uncomfortable if they can't eat and they're on this special diet or whatever. So it's just more professional that they eat whatever's there at the restaurant with their clients. So I always suggest just telling my clients using the if it fits your macros or the flexible diet method. That's the first step. That's the first step to seeing progress while you travel. and then using MyFitnessPal. That's part of step one. And then step two is making conscious food choices. Now, this is something that is going to be completely up to the individual. You really can't. I can't be there to think or make the decisions for my clients. Neither can I be there for you watching this to make the decision for you of what's a good choice and what's not a good choice. So based on, let's say that it's lunchtime, and for lunch, my original meal plan calls for 30 grams of protein, 50 grams of carbs, and 20 grams of fat. And we go to a restaurant on a street somewhere that has, let's just say it's a burger place, okay? Cheeseburger place. It's a gourmet burger. They make gourmet burgers. So going in, I know that I'm probably going to get a burger and a drink. And that the fact in this scenario that I need 30 protein, 50 carbs, and 20 fats, I can go in thinking that based on the MyFitnessPal recommendations and my meal plan, that 6 ounces of lean beef, give or take, is between 30 and 45 grams of protein. If you're a little bit over, that's okay. But the key is to get that protein. And you don't want to go way over and go 60 or 70 grams of protein, but you also don't want to get way under and go like 10 or 15. So do your best to kind of eyeball the size of the burger patty there at this restaurant and try to, take a good guess on how many ounces the patty is, and you can easily enter that in MyFitnessPal. That would be a good example of a conscious food choice. And then for your carbs, the whole term that bread is bad for you is not necessarily true. If you're allowed 50 grams of carbs during this meal, then go ahead and have the bun. The bun will probably take up 25 grams of carbs. And then maybe you can have, a handful of sweet potato fries. That's you typically serve with the burger. And that can get you an easy 25 to 30 more grams of carbs there. Now, of course, if they give you a heaping scoop of sweet potato fries, that could easily be 60 to 70 or maybe even 100 grams of carbs. You don't have to finish the whole plate, or just get a half a serving if you see that they're giving out big servings. So, try to order making those conscious food choices so that you can hit those macros. And then, of course, in this scenario, if you're talking about the fats in the food, if you're at a burger place, there's plenty of fats, usually in ground beef. So. And then if you get the sweet potato fries, there might be some fats in there as well. So you really wouldn't have to worry about getting anything just for fats only, because the meal would pretty much cover that. And I guarantee you, if you went into a burger place thinking along those lines of if it fits your macros and making conscious food choices, looking at the serving size, looking at the size of the bun, the fries, and whatnot, you can really hit those macros pretty close. Now, with that being said, if you're over on carbs during that lunch, then that means your dinner needs to be a little bit less with the carb intake, so that you're not going over for the day. So you're kind of just plugging and playing as you go. If I go somewhere for dinner and I know that or if I'm going somewhere for dinner later and I know it's going to be really high in calories, if I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory for dinner and I know that I've been really wanting pasta lately, well, the best scenario is to keep my carbs lower throughout the day, focus mainly on proteins, and then go get a good workout in, and then that night I can go to the Cheesecake Factory, I can eat that big bowl of pasta, and it actually will hit or get very close to hitting my carb intake for the day. And the fact that I've just focused on protein throughout the day, I should be good on protein, and then my carbs and fats with a little trace amount of protein will come in at dinner. So those are just some tips that you can use while you travel. The two biggest tips that I suggest to somebody who's traveling a lot and they don't want to get setbacks, they want to make progress, is to use MyFitnessPal, track their macros, use the flexible dieting method that works well for people who travel. And then number two, the one that's probably the most important, is to use conscious food choices. Be aware of the serving size, be aware of where you're going, try to think ahead, where you're going to take the client, where the boss may take you out to dinner, so that you can kind of plan ahead throughout your day to make sure that you hit your macros. Of course, one of the best things to do is to track your macros every time you eat throughout the day, so you kind of have a running total of what's going on, and you know you're not going to be surprised by the end of the day. Because if you eat all your food all day and then go back and try to track it, there's no telling. You don't know what you're going to be at. So it's better just to track your macros throughout the days you go, have the running total, continue to make the conscious food choices, and you'll be good to go. So that is how you travel for you business people out there, and continue to make progress each day, each week, and just keep crushing it. I know that if you travel a lot, the gyms can be hard to get into. So if you're someone who travels and you need a workout program that you can get in and out of the gym within 30 to 45 minutes, in those small hotel gyms, just shoot me a message or drop a comment below, and I'll be happy to send one to you. I'll be happy to talk to you about your goals. If you would like to download my app, it's absolutely free. It's for Android and the iPhones. You can simply search my name, Blake Covington, on the Apple Store or on Google Play, and download the app for free. You get access to a recipe book. You get access to free shipping for life on First Form supplements. And yes, that is for life with First Form. And then you also get access to free workouts, articles, and videos. These videos that I actually put up on the app as well in the training and nutrition library. So guys, that is it. Thank you so much for the support. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and you'll be seeing more of me every single week. So keep crushing your goals.